This is a continuation of the final hearing on the Surcy and Sanders children that we began on January 26th. Ms. Wildman's with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the children. Ms. Wilcox is with us representing the mother, Ms. Sanders, who is with us. Mr. Barfield represents Mr. Surcy. He is not with us. Mr. Barfield is not with us, nor is Mr. Surcy. The court did enter an interlocutory termination on Mr. Surcy at the hearing that we began on January 26th. And then Mr. Cisneros, father to Lily, he is not with us, and he was not with us when we began this final hearing. So we will go ahead and proceed in Mr. Barfield's absence. First of all, I have Kayla Scone and Rhonda Johnson. Do we need either of them in?
Kayla Scone is I believe, maybe is the caseworker on this one. Okay. We're covering, and then Rhonda Johnson will be for the next hearing potentially if we end up needing to call witnesses.
Okay. All right. Ms. Wildman, you said that you needed to make an announcement.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Wilcox did provide the department with relinquishments for both of the children. Those have been filed into the case and should be available on Odyssey. So we'd ask that you take judicial notice of those. As far as termination grounds, there was one issue with the relinquishments that I've talked with Ms. Wilcox about. The relinquishments ask that the grandmother be named as permanent managing conservator. If we did that and the department were dismissed, the children would not be eligible for the adoption benefits, and we wouldn't be able to facilitate that adoption. I've talked to Ms. Wilcox about that and why that wouldn't be in their best interest. The intention, obviously, was that the children not be removed from Nancy Trask, and the department has no intention of doing that. That's the grandparent they've been with the whole time, the adoptive placement. And so instead, Judge, I've talked with Ms. Wilcox and Ms. Wiggins. We would just ask that part, I guess, be replaced instead with an order that we not change placement. Okay. Without a prior hearing or I guess a prior court order, right. And then the department be named permanent managing conservator, and that the mother only be terminated based off of those relinquishments. All
right, Ms. Wilcox, would that proviso that I will enter an order that the children not be moved without prior court order? Is that your client's agreement today?
Yes, Your Honor, and that was. Oh, I froze. That was my mistake. I thought about putting the department in there, and then I knew Grandma was going to be adopting, so my private hat went on for a moment. So we're fine with that. We understand the department is going to be permanent managing conservator pending that adoption. And okay. I just have one other thing before we finalize and you make your announcement of ruling, okay. Judge.
Okay.
In the order of termination, if we could just have a finding in there that Ms. Sanders does not owe any child support arrearage. I had that issue come up recently with a private termination. We did the termination order, Mr. Rampelmeyer and I did, and we got a phone call post-termination, and the Office of the Attorney General wanted a confirmation of arrearages. So we had to go kind of backdate and correct that order and make that finding. So if we could just stick a sentence in there that there's a finding by the court and it's ordered that there be a $0 judgment against Ms. Sanders for
sure.
Child support arrearage.
Not a problem. I don't wish anybody to have to deal with the Attorney General's office, so I'm happy to do that.
It's been something lately.
I know. Bless your heart. Okay, give me just a minute here.
And then, Judge, procedurally, I think as far as testimony went, we were on redirect for Ms. Scone. The department will have no additional questions for her.
Okay.
And Briar Wilcox, on behalf of Ms. Sanders, we have no additional questions, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, give me just a minute to look back at my notes from our first hearing. All right, then. Based on the what I've heard today, as far as the agreement reached by the parties, as well as the court will take judicial notice of the affidavit of voluntary relinquishment signed by Ms. Sanders as to both Olivia Surcy and Lily Sanders that's on file in this case. Excuse me. I do find it's in the best interest of the children, Olivia Surcy and Lily Sanders, that the parental rights of the mother, Christy Sanders, be terminated. I'll terminate those rights today based solely on her affidavit of relinquishment on file. as well as Texas Family Code Section 161.001, subsection B1K. I will make the 2 interlocutory terminations as to, well, I'll go into each one. I will make the interlocutory termination on Tyler Surcy as to the child Olivia Surcy that was entered by this court on the final hearing that began on January 26th. I will make that a final order today, just again for the record. Mr. Surcy was terminated based on Texas Family Code Section 161.001, subsections B1, D, E, and N as in Nancy. I will further make the interlocutory termination on Jerry Cisneros as to the child Lily Sanders that was entered on January 26th. I will make that a final order today. Again, the court terminated Mr. Cisneros based on Texas Family Code Section 161.001, subsection B1N as in Nancy. I will name the department permanent managing conservator of both children. I will continue the current placements of both children. I will continue the Randall County Domestic Relations Office and Ms. Wiggins, at least Ms. Wiggins for a few more days. I will retain them in the case. All other court-appointed relationships will be dismissed after all appellate and de novo periods have expired. I will enter an order that the children not be moved from their current placement without a prior court order. And the court will make a finding today that Ms. Sanders' child support and medical support arrears, if any, are found to be $0 as of today. Okay, let me see here. I don't have a date for our next hearing. Brittany's not, she's ill today and she's not with us.
Do you want me to look about 3 months?
Yeah,
we have
that'd
to do
be
within
fine.
90 days. I'll find.
Yeah, it has to be within 90 days. If you just get us a date, please. Ms. Wiggins, thank you.
So 90 days is May 14th. So I know we have a docket on May 4th.
Okay,
You
we'll
want to
just do that. I will announce then our first review hearing on this case will be on May 4th, 2026. It will be by Zoom like today's hearing. So anybody that's still in this case can go on the court's online docket a day or two before May 4th to see exactly what time of day we have that hearing. That'll keep you from having to wait around in the waiting room. So, all right. I appreciate y'all working that out. We will stand in recess on this case. If you're involved, I'll be back at 9:30 to call a Randall County adversary hearing on the Kinney child. Otherwise, y'all have a good weekend.
Thank you, Judge. May we be excused?
Thank you. You may. Good to see you again, Brian.
Good to see you too. Bye, Amy.
Bye. This is an adversary hearing involving the child Presley Kinney. Ms. Wildman's with us for the department. Ms. Wiggins is with us representing the child. Mr. Nowak is with us representing the mother, Stephanie Kinney. She's not in our waiting room. Were you expecting her, Mr. Nowak?
Judge, she's currently in Randall County, and I have her on speakerphone from my cell right now, Judge.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So Ms. Kinney is with us through Mr. Nowak, her attorney. The alleged father, Mark Hanson, is not with us. He's not in our waiting room. This case was set for 9 o'clock. I'm sorry, 9:30. It's now 9:33. We will proceed in Mr. Hanson's absence. I have Rhonda Johnson, Ismar Pineda, and Sylvia Garcia in the waiting room.
If I could get Isamar and Sylvia in, Judge, and then I believe as far as the mother is concerned, this, unless things have changed, she's in agreement.
All right.
She is in agreement, Sam and Your Honor. Yes.
All right. So just for the record, Mr. Nowak, the agreement would be that the department would be continued temporary managing conservator. Presley's placement would be continued. And then we would come back in March for a status hearing to talk about any services that would be requested. Is that your client's agreement, Mr. Nowak?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right. As I stated, Mr. Hanson, the alleged father, is not with us. So Ms. Wiggins, are you in agreement on behalf of Presley?
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
And then, Judge, I think we would just need to put on a real brief testimony as to what efforts were made to try and find Mr. Hanson, which Ms. Hernandez-Pineda can do, and then the child is placed with a maternal aunt she's in Amarillo, correct, Isamar?
That's right.
Okay. All right. All right. Then you can call your witness for the brief testimony regarding Mr. Hanson.
Thank you, Judge. And the department would call Isamar Hernandez-Pineda.
Okay. All right. Ma'am, if you'd raise your right hand, do you swear the testimony you give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right, thank you, Ms. Wildman.
Thank you, Judge. And it was announced Isamar, Miss Kinney is in agreement, and so we're just going to talk about Mr. Hanson. Where did the name Mark Hanson come from?
Miss Kinney is the one that gave us the name for the father.
All right, and at this point, has she relayed that that is who she believes to be the biological father of Presley Kinney?
Yes.
From the documents that you've seen and reviewed, does there appear to be any sort of AOP or birth certificate including him as the father?
I don't believe so.
All right, and what efforts has the department made to try and locate Mr. Hanson?
We did a request for a finder search for Mr. Hanson. It did come back with an address, but we were not sure if that was him. We did have an investigator go out and attempt to make contact with Mr. Hanson. However, they told us that he used to live at that residence, but hasn't since 2023, and we haven't been able to locate him.
And Mark Hanson, that's a pretty common name, correct?
Yes.
In your search, have you come across multiple Mark Hanson addresses and online accounts?
Correct, yes.
Very recently, did you become aware of a Facebook account that could possibly be the correct Mark Hanson?
Yes.
But at this point, is it fair to say nobody has any idea which Mark Hanson we're talking about, or if the one y'all went out to the address for is even the correct Mark Hanson?
Correct.
With that in mind, would it be possible to place Presley with Mark Hanson?
Not at this time.
And even if you had located him, would you have concerns about placing him with Mr. Hanson without genetic testing?
Correct.
Is it your understanding from talking to Miss Kinney that Mark Hanson, at best, maybe met Presley one time?
Correct.
And so I guess the question would be, do you believe you've made reasonable efforts to try to locate Mr. Hanson to avoid the necessity for removing to avoid the necessity to remove Presley from his care?
I do.
At this point, is there anything else you can do besides continuing to try to locate him?
No.
And based off of the issues that arose that led to the removal, do you believe that there was a danger to that child and his health and safety that created that urgent need to protect and remove him?
I do.
And based off of those issues and being unable to find Mr. Hanson, do you believe that there was no time consistent with those circumstances to have this hearing before that?
Correct.
All right. And as far as placement, is the placement that he's in with the maternal and appropriate, safe and appropriate?
Yes.
All right. I'll pass the witness, Judge.
All right, thank you. Mr. Nowak, any questions?
No questions, just a suggestion. Mark Hanson, I think, might be living with his grandparents. I don't have their names, on Northeastern Street. If that helps to narrow it down. No questions. Thank you, Judge.
All right, thank you. Ms. Wiggins, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
All right, then.
Oh, actually, I did have one. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right.
Given that the mom is in Randall County Jail, there's no visitation at this time. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay. Nothing further, Judge.
All right. All right, then. If there's nothing further, then I will approve that agreement. I will continue the department as temporary managing conservator, continue Presley's current placement. I will set the status hearing in this case for March 9th, 2026. It will be by Zoom, just like today's hearing, so parties can go on the court's online docket a day or two before March 9th to see what time of day we'll have that hearing. Okay, we still have Rhonda Johnson in the waiting room. Do we need to let her go?
Yes, Judge, if you bring her in and release her.
All right. Ms. Johnson, this is Jack Graham, the judge, if you would unmute. Thank you, officer. The parties have reached an agreement in this case, so you won't be needed to testify. We appreciate you showing up to testify, and we appreciate your service. So I'll let you go so you can go about your day's business.
Yes, sir. Thank you. You have a good day.
Thank you. You too.
Bye.
And
All
Judge,
right, then.
I wanted to clarify just one thing based off of Ms. Wiggins. Are you all right as far as the order and visitation at this point being that there's no visitation until she's released? That
Yeah.
way I can put that in the final order or
Yeah,
in the temporary adversary order.
yeah, that's fine. This court standing orders that children aren't taken to jails to see their parents. They can have phone calls with them, but no in-person visitations. All right, I appreciate y'all working that out. That was our final hearing for the day, so we'll stand in recess. Everybody have a good weekend and a good holiday.
Thank you, Judge. You as well.
Uh-huh.
Thank you,
Thank
Judge.
you, Amy. Thank you.
Thanks, Judge. I'll see you next week.